Hello? In this video, I'm updating you on the latest in the global financial war. It seems like someone has just announced they're selling the solar system to raise money for the fight here on Earth. Just kidding, but honestly, it's a joke based on real events. In this video, I'm here to update you about the global financial war, right? The main focus is the financial war between the East, led by Russia and China, and the West, led by the United States and the G7. The main topic of this video is the big summit that just wrapped up, and the new financial system that Russia has proposed, BRICS Pay, which they claim will change everything for everyone. After putting everything into the dollar, while I was researching this, I also came across some more interesting info. For example, even though China is facing a trade war, it's not going down. They're able to use Mexico as a backdoor to export goods into the United States without having to pay tariffs. As for Russia, they've shown their anger to the world in their own way, like filing a lawsuit against Google and fining them a significant amount. Like, the way they did it, it's almost as if they were jokingly announcing the sale of the entire solar system. And this is the Sci Money Matter channel. Thank you so much to everyone who follows the Sci Money Matter channel, supports our in-depth research, and enjoys our unique style. You can support us by scanning this QR code. But if you're not able to scan or support us, that's totally fine. Just watching until the end is enough for us. Sci-Fin, Sci Money Mots. Okay, before we get to the brisk news, I want to talk about this story first. Just how angry does Russia have to be at the United States for this latest development? Russia has filed a lawsuit against Google seeking a fine as high as $2.5 quadrillion. That's the number 2.5, followed by a whole bunch of zeros. That's 32 zeros. Google, the company, is worth $2.12 trillion, which is already a huge amount. But compared to Russia's fine, even if you sold off Google, it still wouldn't be enough to pay it. Even if you sold the entire planet Earth, the GDP of our world is only about $100 trillion. So, like I said, even selling the whole world wouldn't be enough to pay the fine. You'd probably have to sell the entire solar system. Maybe the sun, since it's so big, could fetch a good price. But the real point isn't the amount of the fine that Russia is suing Google for. What matters is that this amount reflects just how furious Russia is with the United States, especially after having $300 billion seized. After being sanctioned, and with the United States taking the lead in helping Ukraine fight against Russia, let me just say up front in this clip, I'm not saying what Russia did was right. But in President Vladimir Putin's anger, Russia has made its stance very clear on the world stage, especially at the recent big summit. When asked how the BRICS group is doing right now, they're actually one of the fastest growing economic groups, growing faster than we've ever seen before. At the latest BRICS summit, there were 13 new countries ready to join the group. Among them, of course, are Thailand and Indonesia. You could say BRICS is really on the rise. Meanwhile, the Western world, including major powers like Germany and the UK, is facing an economic downturn. President Vladimir Putin of Russia even said on the BRIC stage that the US dollar is being used as a political tool, and that the United States uses the dollar for political retaliation. This, in turn, undermines both the credibility and the stability of the US dollar itself. Putin also introduced mBridge as a financial system designed to be a thorn in the side of the dollar, specifically to challenge it. This system is designed for BRICS member countries to use CBDCs, or central bank digital currencies, which are controlled by each country's central bank. The goal is to issue digital currencies that serve as local currencies for each country, and to be able to conduct cross-border transactions globally through mBridge without involving the US dollar at all. Putin said that this could reduce cross-border transaction fees by billions of US dollars per year. The initial focus will be on commodities, especially food products like grains, since Asian countries are already leaders in grain production, as well as oil. The aim is to reduce the influence of the Western world, which has the prices of these commodities to be artificially high. The purpose of creating the mBridge system is to build a bypass. A simple way to put it is to bypass the United States, to bypass the US dollar entirely. This means that anyone who joins the bridge group and becomes part of mBridge doesn't have to care about the power to impose sanctions or any kind of political power from the United States anymore. Simply put, it's a system set up specifically for de-dollarization. mBridge is a financial network it allows members of the BRICS group to conduct money transfers worldwide with support from the BIS, or the Bank for International Settlements. However, the BIS has a condition. It cannot accommodate every single transaction from BRICS. The BIS has made it clear that it does not support providing services to countries under sanctions. That's why in mBridge, you still don't see the Russian flag there. The transactions on mBridge are mainly backed by 4 entities. 1. China, 2. the UAE, 3. Hong Kong, and 4. Thailand is also included. This platform uses blockchain technology as its main backbone, which ensures transparency and lowers transaction fees. If the mBridge system succeeds, the first things we'll see are, firstly, people within the group will no longer need to use money to conduct transactions through the SWIFT system. SWIFT is the financial transaction system from America. Secondly, the Western world, especially the United States, will have no way of knowing what the BRICS countries in BRICS are buying, selling, or what transactions they're conducting. And thirdly, the political power and the ability of the United States to impose sanctions or enforce embargoes, well, it's not that they'll lose their influence, but rather, those powers simply won't work anymore within this group. This thing that's about to happen, there's no way the United States is happy about it. Not at all. But the truth is the truth. If you ask, hey, no matter how big this alliance gets or how grand their de-dollarization plans are, can they just topple the US dollar overnight, like today or tomorrow? The answer is no, because the US dollar system is massive. The US dollar dominates the share of global transactions. Right now, 54% of global transactions use the US dollar. Everyone uses the dollar for cross-border trade and exchanges, especially many countries around the world. They have to use the dollar as a reserve currency or as their country's foreign currency reserves to help ensure their economic stability. Thailand uses it a lot too. This is exactly what makes the dollar more than just a currency, because the dollar can also be used as a financial weapon. And since everyone holds dollars, right? But no matter what, the dollar still belongs to the United States. If the US is unhappy and wants to impose sanctions, freeze assets, or do anything like that, they can do it because the dollar is under US control. So if any country holds a lot of US dollars as their foreign reserves and suddenly gets sanctioned, a financial crisis could hit their country instantly and unexpectedly. Now, let's take a look at what would happen if the BRICS group actually succeeds. Where would the money go and who would benefit the most? To put it simply, whoever leads the group will get the most out of it, and that's China, right? China is a country that's mainly focused on trade and doesn't really care about much else. If China can find a way to avoid the US dollar system, it would be much safer for them when it comes to trade. They can trade with the rest of the world. And most importantly, take a look at this chart. This chart shows China's import and export figures. You'll notice that ever since the United States declared a trade war on China back in 2017 and 2018, China's export volume with the rest of the world hasn't really been shaken up all that much. This data is from the Visual Capitalist website, and it's from 2022. You can see that China imported $2.7 trillion. The US exported $3.5 trillion, so that means China still managed to have a trade surplus of up to $857 billion. That was in 2022. If anyone says, oh, that's old data, let's look at the numbers for 2024. China has continued to trade and accumulate a trade surplus since January 2024. You can see they've had a surplus every single month, all the way up to September, which is as far as the data goes. Altogether, they've already accumulated a surplus of $780 billion. China's still selling really well to the US. China can still sell, and they're still making a lot of profit. And let me tell you, China is a country that's really good at selling things, and they're also incredibly skilled at dodging and finding loopholes. I came across some data that said, regarding a trade war the United States declared on China, did it affect China? Yes, it did, and it hit them pretty hard. But if you ask whether China found a way to avoid the impact, the answer is yes. They did it by using Mexico as a backdoor. By shipping goods through Mexico into the United States without having to pay tariffs. How do we know this? Well, I noticed something odd. There was a recent statistic showing that Mexico has become a much bigger trading partner for the US. And I wondered, what exactly is Mexico exporting? So I looked it up and found this. According to data from the US Congressional Research Service, in 2023, Mexico exported goods to the United States worth $475 billion, which is actually higher than the previous year, $20 billion more than in 2022. Meanwhile, China exported goods to the US worth $427 billion in 2023, which is a decrease of about $110 billion compared to the previous year, 2022. And then in 2024, Mexico exported goods to the United States increased by as much as 5.8%. You could say it rose in line with the intensifying US-China trade war. According to the BBC, they reported on how Chinese companies have been able to use Mexico as a backdoor to export to the United States. Basically, if Chinese companies send goods to Mexico and then process or add value to them there, they can change the product category entirely. For example, they might send wooden planks and then turn them into tables in Mexico and stamp them as made in Mexico. That's all it takes. If we look at this chart, we can clearly see the connection. The cargo ships leaving China for Mexico, the top pink line here, show that shipments from China to Mexico in 2023 were 22% higher than the orange line for 2022 and 33% higher than the green line for 2021. Meanwhile, the number of ships going directly from China to the United States has decreased. According to a report on the China Daily website, Mexico has become a major destination for Chinese exports. This has also led to a surge in FDI, foreign direct investment, from China into Mexico, reaching $3.7 billion in 2023. That's a significant increase compared to the past 10 years, an unusually sharp rise. Back to the mBridge system. When will we see a fully operational mBridge? That's still uncertain, but mBridge is making progress and advancing. So has anyone actually used mBridge yet? From what I've found, the UAE announced this past January that they successfully transferred funds through the mBridge system, with a transaction value as high as $13.6 million. Hong Kong has already launched the RMB CBDC, ready for use, and HSBC. HSBC, the bank backed by the UK, has joined the SIP system. So what is the SIP system? SIP is similar to SWIFT, but SIP is owned by China. This means that HSBC has already diversified its risk. If, for any reason, the United States or the dollar were to fail, HSBC would still be able to conduct financial transactions as usual. With the system that uses the yuan, the term multipolar world, it's definitely coming. If I interpret this based on the information I've gathered myself, I feel like the world is tilting toward the east, and so is the money. But don't forget, I'm just one person, so maybe I haven't found all the information, right? If anyone has any additional info or thinks there are more important variables, please leave a comment and let me know. I'll also check to see if that solar system that's up for sale has been sold yet. Some things I say are just jokes, you know?